allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀.
Hello there.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, àwọn tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Tó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Please share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And tell them that Maiyegun today. Now, if you are watching me from Gabon, you are the special guest of honor tonight. You will likely have a chance of calling in to brief us what is going on in Gabon. Me, I came with loads and loads of a gist on what is going on in Gabon. Be careful of what you wish for. Please. And just before we get fully into this conversation tonight, there is something I quickly want to say to you, members or brethren of the Temple of Truth. Please look at me very well. I've not had a good sleep. I've been on the mountain, okay, gathering what is called the wisdom that we always kind of love to share on this platform. But now look at me once again. Do not let anybody gaslight you, okay, because of how you are reacting to the recent developments in African countries. It is a wind of, what do you call it? Resistance, kind of a blowing. And you are not in control of that, okay? Do not let anybody gaslight you and start telling you, are you now wishing that military should come? Are you saying because the democracy is faulty now, so we should now welcome military? It's not your own calling. Do you understand? Express yourself, express how you feel, and feel good, okay? Because what you are facing in Nigeria for the past 24 years is what other African countries have been facing for donkey years. So don't let anybody gaslight you, okay? If you say na military you want, talk am. Nobody say you could get any control over it, okay? You have no control if the military is going to strike. Because even the one you have control over, choosing who should be your president, who should be your governor, who should be this or that in your democracy, some people wear agbada, and they plan coup. They call it democracy. Other people wear khaki, they plan coup. They can't tell you, say, that one is worse. Which one is worse between those who are wearing agbada, okay, to steal the people's supposed, votes, where people's votes don't count, and those who carry gun and desire to declare themselves as the ruler of the country? What's the difference? I'll try and tell you. Gabon, Tiluleo. I promise you one thing tonight. If the time permits us very well, we are going to receive calls from Gabon. Librisville, Abi? How do you pronounce that, your capital again? We are going to receive calls from there tonight. Motideo. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. To the people of Gabon, who participated in a charade election few days ago, they probably didn't see this coming, that the same military that has been protecting the Ali Bongos since 1967, the same guy turned around, arrested him, and declared that they've taken over the country because of a fraudulent election that took place 3 days ago. Just 3 days ago. Now, if you are watching me from Nigeria, before you begin to go kind of hysteria about this, there are some statistical facts that I want you to have at the back of your mind, so that you don't put them in the same, you don't put Nigeria and these people on the same pedestal just before we get into it. Gabon, as a country, it has the population of 2.4 million people. 2.4. All right? And the moment I mentioned 2.4 million, a lot of you can quickly narrow it down. What size is that in part of Nigeria today? In that their country, 92% of the population, they are of the same tribe. The rest shared by other tribes in that same Gabon. Gabon is just one of those countries created like the Europeans mapped Africa. They didn't map Africa as like a country that should be countries. They mapped them based on the resources existing in those regions. Okay, and they appointed administrators that they called colonial. What do you call it? Those you call the independent leaders. However, let's go back to their history before we get to what happened today. Okay. In 1967, their president, okay, who died, and the vice president, Omar Bongo, the man on the left on your screen, took over as the president of Gabon. Gabon, like a Niger, like Burkina Faso, and every other French colonized Africa countries, they are all under that colonial tax from France. They are only allowed to spend, the French franc, and they always have to trade only with France. Every export or import they want has to come from France or to France. And France determines how much their resources actually worth before they pay for them, if they ever pay for them. Now, you see, Omar Bongo then managed to consolidate that power for a while before Wahala started in the 70s. So in the 70s, he devised a kind of, an idea, the idea of one-party states, by promising all those other opposition parties that, listen, there's no point in having opposition, okay? So let us all just come under one single party and just kind of enjoy whatever is there. That didn't last. But to cut it short, after about 30 years, exactly in 1990, for the first time, multi-party politics or multi-party politics got reintroduced, which means other people can stand for elections. Now, this is the man who has taken over power from 1967 in a country that was probably back then less than 1 million people. Okay? Now, by 1999, now that they've had multi-party politics, he's been contesting and he's been winning and winning. By 2009, after 42 years in power, meanwhile, his son, Ali Bongo, the son of Omar Bongo, the man in the middle, he was born in 1959. So which means by then, he was just 8 years old when his father took over the country as the president. Okay? And since then, the Bongo family have been very, very loyal to France. By 2009, Ali Bongo, the son of the president, had already become the leader of, or supposedly the next in line to his father in his political party. So suddenly, the man suffered cardiac arrest and he died. So the old man died after 42 years in power. He died in that power. His son, who has served in different capacity as minister, ambassador, in all different political capacity for the past probably 30 years, automatically became the leader of the party of his father. And the same structure put in place by his father, I'm talking about the government, an institution in Gabon, conducted an election. And they declared him winner after 3 weeks. Drama, fight, everything, protest. They let that go. In 2016, they did another election, second term. He rigged it again, like father, like son. There were crises, people got killed, shops, businesses got burnt and all that, like normal reactions. They let that go. Then, another time again, he's contesting again. But before this time, this man suffered a very, very terrible stroke. He survived it, but he became partially paralyzed, like partial stroke. He became partially paralyzed, but he never gave up. I don't want to talk about the fleecing of the country for now, and the money and everything, properties they kept everywhere, and the money that are actually public. Gabon is like, the only thing left for Gabon is for them to change their name, the name of their country, to Ali Bongo or Bongos. It was like a plus situation. Anyway, he rigged himself again just 3 days ago. I mean, there's a guy called, you can see, let me see if I can put that on your screen. Give me a sec. Yeah. You see this guy on your screen? That is the Mr. Yakubu of Gabon. Okay? Democracy, democracy. Those who are destroying democracy are crying that democracy is dying in Africa. And the West that have been condoning them, harboring these African criminals and their loot, they continue to pretend that they actually support democracy. None of them, not in America, not in Europe, none of these Western countries would ever accept the kind of elections they conduct in Africa. They will never accept the same in their country. UK will never accept such elections like you had in Nigeria or you have been having in different parts of Africa. That will never happen in the UK. It will never happen in America. But guess what? It's okay in Africa as long as they are business partners. So you begin to ask yourself, what kind of democracy is the West promoting in Africa? The kind of democracy that denies the people the real right of choosing their own leaders that can actually make them responsible. The democracy that can bring prosperity, safety, development, security. Is that what the West is promoting in Africa? Or the West is promoting the kleptocracy or something like that? They are promoting kleptocracy, promoting kleptocrats, known criminals, money launderers, criminals as president, as prime ministers, as this and that in Africa. So when these guys now abuse that privilege, that power, and the people rise against them, then suddenly democracy is in danger. Do the West not know that democracy is always in danger? Every time they harbor all the criminals, every time they house all the looted wealth, every time they encourage the cheating of Africans that has created mass poverty for people that are supposed to be living in, serious prosperity. So what kind of democracy is the West promoting in Africa? A lot of questions. So, what happened? 3 days ago, right? They decided to say, okay, yeah, he won again. Look at this man on your screen. He's like the Mr. Yakubu of Gabon. His name is Michael Stephen Bonda. They conducted election. In the elections, Ali Bongo came second with 29% of the votes. Albert Onedo Osa came first with 65%. You know what I mean? And somehow, they declared Ali Bongo winner. And they told the opposition to go to court. Go to court. Ecowas are supervised, European Union, World Bank, IMF, who else again? All these lenders, they always send monitors. African Union, Ecowas, CEDAW, and so many other fake bodies that pretended to be respecting due process and the interest of real due process in Africa. They all go there to inspect elections, sham elections, ridiculous elections that people are getting killed because they wanted to vote or campaign, elections where opposition are getting locked up or exiled or jailed for trump-up charges, something they will never allow in their country. If that happened in the UK or happened in any Western country, you will be reading it on CNN. You'll be seeing it on BBC. Protest everywhere. It can happen in France. What France and the rest of them are encouraging in Africa can never happen in France. So that you begin to ask, what kind of democracy are they actually selling to Africans? If you have to ask that, is democracy in danger in Africa, or they actually sold dangerous democracy to Africans? The same democracy they will never practice. No. They said they should go to court. Normal. In the next few days, there could have been like protest everywhere. Sure you get, because of the elections. But people are yet to recover from the announcements. They did the same thing in Zimbabwe. That same weekend, this past weekend, there was an election in Zimbabwe. Sham elections. And this Gabon. Sham elections. Okay? America condemned the election in Zimbabwe. France condemned the election in Zimbabwe. But guess what? They supported the re-election of Ali Bongo in Gabon. And they call on the opposition to watch what they say. On the day of election, Ali Bongo turned off the internet. Yeah. So that the rest of the world will not know what was going on in Gabon. They turned off the internet. Just because he wanted to rig election. So he successfully rigged the election. Okay? The people that were giving him protection and all of that, then struck this morning, 30th of August, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to Gabon. A quick one. Because there's not even any chance anymore for anybody to go to court anymore. Sure you get? There's no chance. No court anymore. No National Assembly. No governor. No senator. No nothing in Gabon anymore. What they are doing right now is hunting down all of the friends of the government. You know what? The irony of it, the person that is heading, that is the guy. You see this guy? The one on the far right. That is the guy that is now in charge. His own name is Brice Oligui Nguema. That is the name of the new leader of the Gabon government now. Now, from what I have heard, the guy himself is not from Gabon. But that is not the story tonight. Okay? The guy got enrolled in being part of the presidential guard, those who are protecting the Ali Bongos. And they were the ones that took him and arrested him, arrested his son, arrested his wife, and every member of his government they could find. They've arrested the Naira's will Akpabiole of Gabon. You know, say in Nigeria, you have one. Your Akpabiole, Senate President, Abi. They have Senate President in Gabon too. The Senate President of Gabon, they picked him up when he was trying to escape. So they were picking all of them up right now, and they are charging them for treason. But you see that guy on the right, he has been with the Ali Bongos for years now, providing security for them. The same thing that happened in Niger Republic. The guy that became the leader of a Niger Republic military junta, Shiani, Abdurrahman Chiani, is a member of the elite squad, the people providing security for the president. So that guy too, from all the wealth of the Ali Bongos, the looted wealth of Gabon, is benefited himself. From what we have managed to pick up, the leader of the military that took over in Gabon, he himself is a multi-millionaire in dollars for being related to the Ali Bongos. But somehow, maybe they just felt like, you know what, we've had enough of this guy. He's not well. It's not all right. And he just want to keep on and keep on. That was when they woke up this morning. It was an announcement. Ali Bongo will no longer be the presidiot of this country, we have taken over in their own language. My player for you. I'll show you.
Ce jour, 30 août 2023, nous, forces de défense et de sécurité, réunis au sein du Comité pour la transition et la restauration des institutions, CTRI, au nom du peuple gabonais et garant de la protection des institutions, avons décidé de défendre la paix en mettant fin au régime en place. Les élections générales du 26 août 2023, ainsi que les résultats tronqués, sont annulés. Les frontières sont fermées jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Toutes les institutions de la République sont dissoutes. Notre beau pays, le Gabon, a toujours été un havre de paix. Aujourd'hui, ce pays traverse une grave crise institutionnelle, politique, économique et sociale. Aussi, force est d'admettre que l'organisation des échéances électorales, dites élections générales, du 26 août 2023, n'a pas rempli les conditions d'un scrutin transparent. À cela s'ajoute une gouvernance irresponsable, imprévisible, qui se traduit par une dégradation continue de la cohésion sociale, risquant de conduire le pays au chaos.
Le pays au chaos. O ti ka nìyẹn, ọ̀kàkà ti ka sọ́run nìyẹn. Ali Bongo, Baba, person wey suppose don leave power when he had the chance, when thunder fire am that time, can't disable am from one part. That should be enough for him to go back and face his family and all of that. Ironio, he is African. He was waiting for when his own son can take over. Abi? And Jeje Minimojoko, sorry if you are watching me from Libreville, Gabon. Sometimes when I talk, I have to add my own Yoruba to it. And it's like the brethren know me very well. Ali Bongo that knows that na Jeje we do, na Jeje me I do. Ali Bongo that turned off internet. He turned off the internet during election. They will return on the internet after elections. He wanted to do congratulatory message to fellow Gabonese, la paix, la kwe, kene, you know? That was when the soldiers came. Like I said, na Jeje adeo, na just dey adeo. When Ali Bongo can't do video, TikTok, can't they tell us, say, me help and make noise. Me make noise for you. Ali Bongo. That was what actually attracted Nigerians to it. You know, Nigerians are facing the same thing in Nigeria right now. So immediately they saw that what is going on in Gabon is due to election manipulation, fraudulent election. So they were interested. Why they were still there asking, you know, they don't speak English in Gabon. They speak French. But Nigerians now, trust Nigerians now. Hey, come, l'appel au tuer, like, what happened? What happened here? They say, oh yeah, our president, removed. Lakai, kind of like that. Your president, what happened? Like, tell us, Nigerians, so it no take time before they know what's in day. It can't be like saying, Nigerians are Gabonese on social media right now. Nigerians are now like, hey, God, waiting we do you. You do them for Burkina Faso. You do them for Niger. Baba God, you do them for Guinea. Hey, even see small Gabon, DL. You don't do them for them again. We still there here. They do Bulaba, Bala Blue, Town Hall, and the rest of us don't even know what will happen next. on social media. That was when they started gaslighting them. You these people, you are evil. Is it because Obi lost election? You disobedient. You these people, don't wish this in your country. Democracy must survive in Nigeria. Democracy, why are you waiting for military? Why are you people so evil? I said, don't let anybody gaslight you or Benny Express RL, because there's nothing you can do. At this point, there's nothing you can do. It's no longer in your control. When it was in your control was when they shouted, go and get your PVC, go and get your PVC, go and get your PVC. When I get PVC, then kill some of you. 73 of you were killed for that election. Then tell you, say, may you go court. You go court, they still gaslight you. Say, they go kill you if you try anything, any nonsense. If you go out there to protest, now soldier go kill you. They are doing all of that to gaslight you. So, Baba, Express RL is not in your control. If military come tomorrow, no be you. It's not because of you. Now, because some people say they are fed up. Unfortunately, now the people wait and they appoint, as their own security. Now them go arrest them. Ali Bongo to the bingo. That's the point. Oh, Ali Bongo, the man that, I'll show you something. He was so powerful, as disabled as he has become, as just the figurehead. There was a time he was leaving his country. He was going to France. And it was raining. And because, they have to give him the guard of honor at the airport. And it was raining. Come and see ministers. Like in Nigeria, those zombies with pot bellies. All those overfed pigs. Male and female that you call honorable, you call minister or appointees of these criminals. They had no choice. They queue in the rain. I'll show you. They see him, that's him moving. They were drenched, they were like, they were drenched up, from head to toe. But they don't get choice. Okay, I'm going to France, when they get to France, I must see him. These are the kind of leaders they want for Africa. Sick, greedy, selfish, kleptocrats. These are the people they want as leaders in Africa. The ones they will never allow in their own country. Ever. Never. Go possible. Go turn to problem. They invited him to the European Union. Now the same thing. Now him senior brother be that one. No. Now him papa be that one. I will come back to that one. And then here. The type of leaders they want for Africa. From a time immemorial, they are the type of leaders they wanted. And like I told you, if you're watching me from Gabon, don't take any offense, so here you get now. Nigeria get their own. We call him Ebola. The Malians call him Ebola. Okay? And then in Nigeria, we call him Jaga addict or Jaga bandit. I don't know what the rest of you call him in other parts of Africa. So we are not mocking you. We get one way like that too.
The march of the colors and the rest of the parade. Please, may I request we all rise as a mark of respect to all officers.
Here you get, so don't take any offense. So. Now that same majestic Ali Bongo between 26th of August and 29th of August, it was still the Ali Bongo until this morning when Ali Bongo can't do video. Voila today, Ali Bongo said me would they make noise for him. You the crazy, like you the mad in it. Make we the world make noise for you. When you said 60 or 62% of Gabonese voted for you. I'm coming to that part, but Ali Bongo.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence and nothing happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you. Thank you.
What do you mean? With a wiki.
It is smoky Igbo. It is taking the It is smoky Igbo. It is taking the
Mo will make noise. Make noise to who? At least for people to make noise for Ali Bongo in Gabon. Where are the 62% of Gabonese that voted for him? They are the first people that are supposed to hit the streets and demand that you need to release our president. We voted for him. That is one thing that is giving me a little bit of concern for Kolu. Even though Kolu not too like us. But it gives me concern for Kolu. A lot of you are shouting and shouting before during the campaigns. You saw they were like, you will see, let the election come. You will see Ashiwaju landslide, Ashiwaju this and that. Election day came. Baba, these people are scrapping for anybody who help them change number, change figure. We no see all these Lagos Abobaku, una no many. To the point that while you are waiting for when you are waiting for Mr. Yakubu Nigeria to do wonder, a lot of you were so dead on social media, online, offline. You were so gone. We no hear you. We no see you. Until Mr. Yakubu announced Kolu at 4 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. in the morning. Then you started coming out. We don't tell you. Some of you were even thanking God. Thank God, oh. I was so worried. You see, disobedient. These people, we must do everything, before next governorship election. Or else these people wanted to show us, I can never believe that they beat us in Lagos. A lot of you, this shameless, faceless coward, the day where water go finish for the back of the fish, tí omi ma tán lẹ́yìn ẹja, be it Ali Bongo, Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo go expect all of you to come and make noise for him. Ali Bongo go expect like this, Tifnubu go they call all of you to come and help him. You go shock the rest of you. See person where the 62% population voted for. At first, if they call them, if they beg them, make some noise for me. Make some noise for me, please. These people have arrested my son and have arrested Omo Ali Bongo. Odigbere o. Odalaira. Adorun dorun o.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence and nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really.
No. We will not make noise. We'll tell them to deal with you because there's no difference between you and what you have been doing, and the people will remove you. Those ones are wearing military fatigue, military camouflage and guns. You, with the INEC of Gabon, you were wearing agbada and suits, okay? And you stole the mandate of the people. You rigged the election. They did not vote for you. And that is why nobody came out to come and defend Ali Bongo or Ali Bingo. Ma, take you to Gabon, ladies and gentlemen. In Gabon, now the presidential guard be this. People will be say, yesterday afternoon, they are still doing like this to Ali Bingo. Shut the back front. But this money, look at them. The soldiers who were yesterday, they are doing chants to Ali Bongo. Today, Otilo. I'll show you another one. Now soldiers too.
Tout à l'heure, le cours fera continuer. Vous allez travailler jusqu'à 17h. Protéger ce que vous avez. Parce qu'il y a certains qui sont téléclassés. Là, c'est dans l'esprit, les achats de pouvoir. Regardez ce qui se passe chez les autres. Regardez en Libye. La Libye, c'était l'un des meilleurs pays en Afrique. Le monde même, regardez. Aujourd'hui, c'est difficile. Nous, on est devenu meilleur que. Donc, préserver ce que nous avons. Préservons ce que nous avons. Merci à vous. Merci à vous. Merci pour la libération. C'est de libérer la route, laisser messieurs faire leur travail et entrer chez vous. Ça va être pire tout à l'heure. Messieurs, bonne journée à vous.
Those are the soldiers. What about the people? I mean, the general public. At least they were the ones whose mandates Ali Bingo stole, Abi. How did they see this? We'll go back to Gabon. Sorry, I didn't hear that well. Anyway, I'll show you another one. Still on the street, too. How bad do you think those who are supposed to be democratic government, how bad do you think they have done that will make the same people who are supposed to be part and parcel of that democratic process celebrate their removal through military coup? These are the questions that you should be asking yourselves, okay? Not try to gaslight anybody and say if they're happy or not, because that's not the point right now. How bad do you think those who are in charge of democracy in Africa have done? Destroy democracy to the point that people would rather do away with them so bad, so fast if they can. Ask yourselves that, right? Oh, go back to that Gabon. I've got more. So if you are thinking of trying to help Gabon with democracy, ask yourselves, where are those people who voted for Ali Bongo? The 64% of the population that voted for, why are they not out? How come everywhere you turn, it was like a relief for them. Like, oh my God, thank God, finally, thank God. They didn't even care whoever is in charge for now. Just get rid of these guys because democratically, we have no power to remove them. Even though they said democracy is about us. No, it's not about us. So how bad do you think they have performed? You know how bad they have performed. And you know how bad a lot of people in different countries in Africa want either revolution or military coup to get rid of this current, rigged system that exists in their country. Do you know how many Africans that actually feel so? Even if you call them short-sighted, okay? You can call them ignorant and other names you can call them. But ask yourselves, democracy that is supposed to be participatory, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Do you think people that featured 3 times in that line, do you think that which means the people should be the sovereign? The people should be the most powerful in anything that they call democracy. If people say we don't want this, what you have to do is to develop mechanism of engaging them and let them have their way peacefully, democratically. When you deny them all of that, what do you think should be next? Should you still continue to blackmail them with democracy? Do you really think we should be blackmailing ourselves in Africa of democracy? The best form of government, no matter how bad it is, and the rest of that. Do you think that statement is actually true? You watching me right now, with the mess they have made of that same democracy, elections in Africa, especially West Africa and Central Africa, do you think that statement of democracy is still the best form of government? Do you think that statement is still true? Okay. I'll take you back to Gabon again. Okay? And this time around, back to the streets. The people now, not soldiers, reacting to the news that finally, the dynasty of Ali Bongo is gone. And there is more to it than, there is more to the coup than some of you will even see it as. Imagine you, in your life at the age of 50 years, or 55 years, you've only known 2 presidents in your life, the Bongos. All your history, your country, everything. Oh, yeah? You only know these 2 people. So you don't understand what that's going to feel like, especially for young people who have now catch on this age and time of internet. They can see what is going on in the rest of Africa, and they can see themselves like so powerless. So look at them. So those are the people that were supposed to make noise for Ali Bongo, but they're actually making noise for the military to say thank you, finally, even though everybody will see calm down and come to reality of this later. But you cannot blackmail them of supporting the military. What you should be doing right now is to ask yourself that how bad must they have done that their people would do anything to get rid of them if they have a chance of doing it. Okay? So one of them, which happened to be, according to the report, is the what is your currency in Gabon? Please raise up your hand if you are watching me from Libreville in Gabon, or any part of Gabon at all. Yeah, tell me, what is your currency called in Gabon? What money do you spend in Gabon? Anyway, don't worry. In Nigeria, they spend naira in Nigeria. So there is a guy who is the Senate President. Okay, CFA Frank. I remember now. Frank, that's what you spend in Gabon. So, like you have Nigeria Senate and you have the Senate President. Okay? Or in Gabon, I think they call him the President of the National Assembly. So it's like their own Akpabiole. In Nigeria, we have somebody called Naira's Will Akpabiole. He is a thief, a known career thief. So if Nigeria should have a revolution tomorrow, and people, all these politically exposed criminals, people begin to hunt them down, like they did in Gabon today, Akpabiole will be one of those they will hunt down in Nigeria. So in Gabon today, they cut their own Nairas Wile Akpabiole, the president of their own National Assembly, while he was trying to escape. He was trying to escape. Whether he was trying to escape at the back of his house or they shall catch him, put him inside this thing, constant jubilation. People around him, around there, suppose person may be seen a powerful person. His own people of his own constituent, see how they are jubilating that. Hey, thank you. Magbelo, Lori Brukuni. People will be saying this street too. People will be saying probably everything when it was, as at last week, they are probably among the people who are saying, God will bless you. You are going to become the National Assembly leader. You are going to be the president of National Assembly. We are so happy to have you in our community. You are a blessing to our people. You are the people who are saying all of that to him last week. Now them did the street now say, carry him, they go. Now, so many of you will do to the criminals you are still defending on social media today when the Kasala burst in Nigeria. Because the Kasala will burst in Nigeria. May these guys just continue what they are doing. The way they are doing now, make them just continue on. Anybody noted and say, they try to change? They shouldn't change. Let them continue in the trajectory of how they are going and running Nigeria right now. One day, that's how you are going to gather on your own streets. When they will come and pick up that your honorable senator, governor, those ones they will capture. Those others will escape. But you see those ones they will capture. Gong, 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 gong. Now so you go line up the streets. They shout, hey, Asheo, Magbelo, Awolori Buruku, and the rest of that. That day of reckoning is near. Just tell them to continue what they are doing in Nigeria right now. Just. Ogba. So, as that then happened, that means Tifnumbu and gang that are still trying to figure out how they are going to tackle Ninja. Another one don't happen, no. Since another one has happened, this has now made it the total number of coup since 2020 in Africa. It has now come to a total of 7 countries. Okay, well, part of Sudan, you know that Sudan. Then you have Guinea, you have Mali, you have Chad, and then you have Burkina Faso. You also have Niger. Now you have Gabon. Well, I was so surprised when they said that Tifnumbu had to call Justin Trudeau. What's the name of that? Your prime minister in Canada. Trudeau, I've been not traduce. No, you shall know your own prime minister in Canada. He spoke to Kolu according to Ngelele, this guy that has replaced Femi Okono Adesina. Ngelele, you will see Ngelele now. That one is called Ngelele. So Ngelele came out and he said, this new coup in Niger Republic has given Kolu constipation. He is worried. Until Justin called him and said, listen, we need to do something. What we go do again? Are we going to attack Niger? Are we going to attack Gabon? Anyway, I advised him. I said, well, you better go and invade Gabon. Gabon is not part of Ecowas, okay? But Gabon should be part of African Union. So if Gabon is part of African Union, to Kosoja John Akakulo invade Gabon. But that's not what Ngelele said. Ngelele Shah read all the bala bulu bulu bala. The bottom line is that Kolu is concerned. Tifnumbu is concerned about, is worried about these developments in Gabon. Ngelele.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is watching developments in Gabon very closely with deep concern for the country's socio-political stability and the seeming autocratic contagion apparently spreading across different regions of our beloved continent. The President, as a man who has made significant personal sacrifices in his own life in the cause of advancing and defending democracy, is of the unwavering belief that power belongs in the hands of Africa's great people and not in the barrel of a loaded gun. The President affirms that the rule of law and a faithful recourse to constitutional resolutions and instruments of electoral dispute resolution must not at any time be allowed to perish from our great continent. To this end, the President is working very closely and continuing to communicate with other heads of state in the African Union toward a comprehensive consensus on the next steps forward with respect to how the crisis in Gabon will play out, into how the continent will respond to the contagion of autocracy we are seeing spread across our continent. Thank you very much.
You don't cast last. Everybody go chop breakfast. You don't cast last. Everybody go chop breakfast. You don't cast last. Everybody go chop breakfast.
You don't cast last. Now everybody go chop breakfast. So Ngelele said Tinubu is monitoring the situation and we must not encourage autocratic rules. We must promote the rule of law and all the nonsense that Ngelele said. The bottom line in Ikpe, Pastor Ruga.
You don't cast last. Everybody go chop breakfast.
You understand? Do you get it? Meanwhile, for Nigerians who have now taken it upon themselves on this issue of Gabon, you go to say in Nigeria, military coup take place in it. And it's because they believe that Ali Bongo and Pablo Ecowas, sorry, it's the same thing anyway. Pablo Ecowas, Abi Pablo Escobar, they have something in common. Okay? Even though Ali Bongo, that is partially disabled, now stroke cosam. Tifnumbu, that is answer with tremor and trembling and sluggishness and the rest of that, we know to know waiting cosam. But they have something in common, especially when you actually catch them in their elements. To the point that the Gabonese, they are offering beer to soldiers. You see soldiers where they wear uniform. Soldiers that are in active duty, wearing uniform with guns. Because they remove Ali Bingo. They started offering them drink. But I put the two together. The similarity between Kolu and Ali Bingo of Gabon. Ladies and gentlemen, Kolu first, Ali Bingo next, Gabonese last.
How are you?
Fine, sir.
Let me. Salo bancho para lo.
No.
No para mo.
Do you see that? Do you see that similarity? Anyway, like Yemi will say, those who are still alive, we have no idea what kind of death we are going to have to suffer. Nobody knows how we are. I don't know how I'm going to die. You don't know how you are going to die. I don't know. Nobody knows. And you know what I mean? Like, nobody, everybody knows, Sha. So, but when you have a chance of leading a country, or should I say, when you are opportune enough to serve in any public office, and your health has become something that depreciated or deteriorated, that you should actually focus on, but you are pretending to actually doing it for the country, sorry, whatever comes your way, you have to take it. Remember Yemi? Sorry that it was tonight. I'll show you that image. You see this image, Every time I speak to you about my great grandmother, Yemi, the woman that actually pretty much raised me. Now maybe that on the right, now maybe that. So when I tell you that I was raised by very old people, like very old, not just old, very like old. People where you go see like this, you go be like some more. Now only skin they cover bone. No. Now skeleton they under that thing, like 90 years, 100 years. Anyway, that's just by the way. Meanwhile, going forward, I have another one I want to share with you. Here is when people started saying, where is next? Pobia. Look at this one. Oh. This one has been in power for the past, okay, my account time, since 1979. 89, 99, 2009, 2019, and then 2023. This one has been in power for 44 years. He is a 90 years old man. At least for at a point in his career as the president of Cameroon, at a time in his career, he was permanently living in Switzerland, like Switzerland, for years. So, it was ruling Cameroon from Switzerland. All right? And then he switched to France. He's mostly in France now. He's still the president of Cameroon. The man is probably over 90. So when people started listing the possible places where people should be like looking forward to, this kind of a revolution. Is either going to be a revolution or it's going to be military takeover or whatever you're going to see it as, yeah? So they pointed at Cameroon, okay? I never say never. Cameroon is big. It's a big place. But far, it's share border with Gabon, share border with Chad, share border with Niger, I think, yeah? That's it. Yeah? Okay. Now, what we are trying to say here is that those who are destroying democracy, those who have become the the real drag back for that fraudulent democracy in Africa, they should begin to count their days, even though a lot of you who prefer military military to take over today. Some of you don't like revolution. When they say, a revolution go fix them. We need to have a revolution. You say, no revolution, no. I prefer military. You know something there? When the military come, like time, when they have been encouraged to come, after they are in, right? You would have to beg them, or you would beg the international community to come and help you remove them. Sure, you get? Same way, you are looking for military to come and help you remove the criminals now. So last, it is just like kicking the can down the road, if you ask me. The last time we saw Paul Biya, Cameroon president in France, see what it looked like. Those are the kind of leaders they want for Africa. So these next few days, a lot could happen. France is getting a message from Africa that they've had enough with all of the colonial bullshit that they are still practicing in this 21st century. Make country day, you have countries. And their own foreign reserve is right there in France. French bank are keeping the money of countries in Africa. Now, if they want to make withdrawal from their own money from French banks, they can't. They will have to loan it to them. You shortchange them from the source of the revenue. The revenue that should probably be sold for example, they should be making let's say $1 billion from every month. You are offering them maybe 100 million franc, not even dollars, so franc, 100 million, and you tell them that the money will remain inside the French bank. So if they need money, they would have to come and borrow from their own money with interest. Who does that? 2023, 21st century. And there are countries like that in Africa. You remember the French assimilation policy is to make them feel like they are part of France. Sure you get? That's what they did then. Indirect rule. I'll be waiting then call them assimilation policy. For those of us who did the government, remember? Secondary school. As French West Africa, French Central Africa, and French rule in Africa. The assimilation rule that makes them feel like, everything they have to do, it makes them feel like they are just like an extension of France. So the resources they have, everything they have in that place is also owned by France, even though they are independent. But they are still under France. 21st century, there are countries like that there. Who does that? How then do you turn around and begin to say Africa is poor, you want to help Africa? When they want to discuss Africa, they will pick all these criminals from Africa. They will take them to Europe. They will lodge them in presidential suites, the best hotels in France, the best hotel in Europe. And they will ask them to come and start talking about their need, their problems. Guess what they do go there to talk about? Renegotiation of, it's not even French government, so companies. For example, let's say I am making this teacup, but the resources I'm using to make the teacup is from Congo, for example. Okay, so me as a French company, right? I have the first right of refusal. Gabon cannot sell anything that can be used to make teacup to any other person but me, as approved by France. So the government of France, the government of Gabon, all of them, from president to all of them, they will come and talk to me on any deal they want. You understand now? They would have to come and convince me that they deserve to be paid more for the resources I'm taking from them. They can't sell it to any other person, no. It's a taboo. You can't sell the resources to other person. Okay? You cannot even go to France and look for any company that will do you good deal. No. There are recommended companies that you are going to deal with. These companies have so much power. There are presidents in Africa, politicians in Africa. I'm talking about supposed powerful politicians in Africa. They queue, put their hands behind their back to talk to the CEOs, representatives of ordinary companies from France. For years, There's nothing like, okay, you, France, you are our colonial master. Come, this policy that you put together, this company, they are cheating us. Oh yeah, come, let's talk. Come and be part. No. The company will be, you don't even have a chance to propose anything. They would have to say, okay. Maybe we'll add 13 cents to it. You see, normally our neighbors who have these same resources, every time they ship out a truck of these resources to sell it to other people, they make $100. But you are giving us just $10. I mean, 10 franc. That 10 franc is even like $7. Why don't you just do us a better deal? Do us a $50. $50 is fair. Other people are selling it for $100. I say, no. What do you mean $50? Are you crazy? The 10 franc we are paying you, is the best you deserve. Okay? And if you are not okay with it, well, there's nothing we can do. They cannot complain to France. They cannot sell it to other person. The government will be overthrown. This is the condition in Africa. So to put it here very clearly, this thing that is going on in Africa right now, they are sending message to you, French people. France, you are about to become the third world country in Europe. I'm just trying to remind you, for those of us who live in the UK, when you hear about the Romanians, when you hear about other Eastern African countries, Eastern European countries here, they will tell you where poverty they will say they are Romanians, they are Guinea-Con, they are this, they are that. Now the countries where we say they pray to get their visa from Nigeria. Here in the UK, there are many of us that have come across what I'm telling you right now. Poor countries because of they don't get the kind of resources where France they get for decades. They don't have access to them like France, but they are in this Europe, very poor, that they all come around to come and hustle for job in other better European countries. They are all in Europe. Europe, not everybody. Wow. I just thought I should tell you, Neil. So if you are in France with what is going on in Africa right now, I know it's going to eventually lead to regional war, that you're going to start something. They're going to start a fire very soon. That fire is probably going to help them, or I want to believe they are already working with different camps, different groups in all these countries where they are sending France away. They are already working with different rebels behind the scene to help them take over power so that they can continue to deplete those countries. I can tell you that. You may not have noticed, you may not or you have to kind of believe me, they're not going to let go. In 20 years' time, the sign that France is on its way to becoming the third world country, if not worse, in Europe here, is going to become glaring. And I can tell you this, if the trend continues, even the Americans, even the other Europeans like the British, they will begin to lose out too. Or they will begin to actually show respect to the African people instead of protecting the criminals that they make difficult for their people to deal with. Do you understand that? Yes. That's my own advice, because I know it's going to get there. Okay? And it is like, it's going to happen like that of, Arab Spring. Nigeria is not spared because it is the same thing everywhere. Manipulating electoral process, cheating and rigging in elections, rigging the court system, rigging the entire system against those you believe you could use the system to stop them from stopping you. Okay? So eventually everybody is getting wiser, and that is what brought back the advice of Goodluck Egbere Jolantan. Like I told you, you may not like him, fine. But you see this message, a lot of us are going to be repeating the message many, many times in many days to come now, in some days to come now. I'll remind you.
Let me use this opportunity to advise us who are politicians and those of us who are in the security services that while we are doing the job we are meant to do, let us not, because the judiciary is very conservative, try to blackmail them or squeeze them. Sometimes when we have political powers, we get blinded They say sometimes your wisdom is consumed with confidence. When we bear the big name, president, governor, all the speakers and so on, we become so blinded, especially even in the security services. When you're holding certain positions, become so blinded, but society is changing. And we must learn, we must admonish ourselves. And civil society is becoming very, very active. And certain things that probably we do and get away with it, we may not get away with it tomorrow. If we take laws into our hands and try to squeeze society, young people will react. It happens when I was a president in a sister country, Burkina Faso, where by their law, if the president is not there because they have no vice president, it's the speaker of the parliament that will take over the country and manage the country. The president wanted to amend the constitution so you go for a third tenure. And from the thinking of society, the parliament was compromised, so the speaker was to do it. The young people in Burkina Faso, the civil society, they mobilized and moved in to the parliament to kill the speaker. The security people couldn't defend it. The speaker has to run away. They burned down the parliament, the national parliament of that country. The mob moved into the state house to attack the president. The president defense squad that was even stronger than national army couldn't stop the mass movement. Otherwise, you kill everybody. The president has to run to Cote d'Ivoire. The country was in a quagmire. Their constitution said the president is not there, the speaker. Now the president ran away, the speaker ran away. Nobody to take over power. The military have to step in. So we, the politicians, and those of us who are holding sensitive security positions should know that society is changing so much and that we should do everything based on the rule of law.
That is the former president of Nigeria. Good luck, Jonathan. Like I said, I cannot control how you feel about him, okay? That's not the point. But that message, is not be saying himself go get spared, though. Do you understand? Not that they will spare him too. I'm just saying that he just passed a very brilliant message that every one of them knows. I don't think they care. Let me tell you something. Do you know that part of the reasons why Nigeria is not coming out of the wood of what these guys have done to Nigeria is the fact that it has become a culture, the culture of impunity. They can get away with anything. They are the law. You can quote your law from now till tomorrow. They will tell you which law applies to you and which of them applies to them. They are the kind of people that will tell you, do as I say, not as I do. You should do what I say, not what I do. Do you understand? Now let me share this with you again. The developments, supposedly constitutionally right, there should be checks and balances from all organs or whatever of government. That if one begin to go mad, another one will checkmate it. And if that one seems not to be, another one will checkmate it. And by so doing, they can quickly stop the hemorrhage or the bleeding. But what do you do when the entire establishment is built around that culture of impunity? In Nigeria, they have 36 states. Organs, what did they call that one? Is it called the arms of government? I've been an organ of government. I've been branches of government. It doesn't matter, anyway. So you have the federal, you have the state, and you have the local government. Three organs of, or three arms of God. No, organs. Doesn't matter. Which means administratively, everyone have their own role without one interfering with another. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, the arrested development through the culture of impunity just played itself out in one of the states in Nigeria, Ogun State. No, they are not so that they confuse us, Jerry. We have three branches of government: the federal, the state, and the local government. You have three arms of government. You have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. You know, now those of us will do social study that time, but it's confusing, isn't it? Or shouldn't it be confusing? Branches of government, arms of government, whatever. So, Ogun State, what happened? One of the local government chairmen from Ogun East, local government area, raised the alarm and said, listen, I think we should stop deceiving ourselves. Okay? The governor of this state, Dubious Dapo, an ex-convicted 419er in America. Also, another one of the indicted oil marketers in Nigeria, who they call the subsidy scammers, aiding oil. He is their governor, and the local government chairman accused him of diverting their allocation. And according to him, in the last 2 years, the governor of Ogun State has diverted over 11 billion naira of the local government allocation, which is true. It is true. They call something joint account. That joint account is unconstitutional. It's illegal. But like I told you, the culture of impunity, they kept it anyway. So what they call joint account is not joint. It was meant to be an account created whereby whenever the federal allocation of the state is coming, it goes straight into that account. When the local government allocation is coming, it goes straight into that account. So it's now joint account. So what I mean is that the local government areas can go into that joint account and withdraw money to fund development in their own local government areas. That is what is called joint. If husband and wife get joint account, does that not mean that you have equal rights? That means you are contributing to the account. Definitely you are going to spend from the account together. That is not it. Now, it is only the local government money that goes into that account. Remember, it's supposed to be joint account too. State and local government too. But when the money is coming, only the local government money goes into that account. The state money goes into a different one. By law, especially in Ogun State, the state government, they are supposed to give 5.1% of their internally generated revenue, because the revenue for the state is generated from the local government areas. The chunk of the revenue from local government areas are generated by the state's agents, denying the local government the ability to generate fund, generate tax, money for development. So because of that, they did a law. That law says, from whatever money that the state generates, they must give the local government 5.1% of that money every month. Accountability. So, the joint account is controlled. The only person that is signatory to that joint account is the governor and the commissioner of finance. Do you understand? Not a single local government chairman is signatory to the state joint account. They know that before they became chairman. Oh. Most of them were unpicked, though, not elected. Though. I know that. But the illegality continues that one of them now raised the alarm and said, listen, over 11 billion naira have been diverted by this governor in the last 2 years. We did not see a dime, no shishi. Truly, go to Ogun State. You will think, oh dear, you will think they are just recovering from Aleppo in Syria, where they have fought civil war. You know, red road, untarred road, dusty road, and then, you know what I mean? When you get to the infrastructure, zero. 11 billion gone. Well, maybe the guy shouldn't have. Because the moment he said that, the governor became angry. Why would you say that? Do you know how much I have suffered for these people in these states? Do you know how much work I do? I barely go to bed. I barely sleep working for our people. You are accusing me of diverting money. Do you know what I did with the money? Governor provoke, angry. And you know what happened next? I seriously tell you, the culture of impunity that will continue to remind you that which kind of democracy be this? Which kind of democracy? What kind of democracy is this? 20 local government chairmen, maybe not the whole of them. They went to go and meet the governor and say, please forgive us. We are so sorry for raising the alarm, blowing the whistle that you diverted our money. We will never do that again. And they prostrated to say sorry to the man that took their money. More a genuine boil in the book. What thing I go do?
As a father of all in this place, Excellency, Excellency, sir, and so, on behalf of all of us, I'm tendering this apology, and in particular, on behalf of Wale and Kedem, Your Excellency,
everyone knows that this job, I am doing it with every iota of sincerity of purpose. I continue to ensure that I'm guided by all the promises that I made in the course of my journey to God of this.
Honorable chairman of local government, 20 local government of Ogun states. Let us prostrate for elders. So now elders, they save person. I'm trying to make it a song. That's what they are singing. They were saying, let us respect elders. Let us prostrate for elders. Let us bow for elders, because only elders can save us. Let us bow down for elders, so because now only elders will save us. Let's bow down for elders, oh, because only elders will save us. Baba, my tired is tired. That's what people do ask me. Maiyegun, how do you cope? How do you do this? I am also tired. But I can always see the effect of this everyday exposition. A lot of people are more conscious, active today. But if you ask me one-on-one, Maiyegun, how do you feel? Are you not tired? I'll tell you, Baba, my tired is tired too. It's like double tiring or double tiredness. But what thing we go do? 1999, our own parents, probably in their own 30s, like some of us now, 1999, they were those who were queuing behind these people. Vote for PDP, vote for APC, for the progress of the future of your children, for the job, good job, school, good road, education, for all your children. In Nigeria, great. Our own parents, for some of us who are not old, maybe they were in their own, because listen, 1999, that was just 24 years ago. 24 years ago. All of you that they gave birth to in 1999, you are now over 24 years old. Have you thought about that? 24 years old, you are. Your mama, your papa, some of them became pregnant because democracy was coming to Nigeria. Thank you, God. God, you are so marvelous. That I will witness democracy in my lifetime. Hey, then you begin to hear Chidima, Agbeke, or Aisha. You better do well now before another woman carry me away. You know, democracy is coming now. Nigeria is going to be great. It's going to change. I want to settle down and marry you. I'm going to do democracy is coming. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Your parents 24 years ago, 25 years ago, they probably had a dream that they decided to go to family way. They married. They gave birth. A lot of you are in your 24s now. 24 years, 25 years old, 23 years old. Baba. Ha! You want not think you saying one. You have done the shout. Nigeria will be great. APC, PDP, Nigeria in our lifetime. I will work for Nigeria to be at your age. So you have go born inside this thing. Or you don't born already. Hi. I just thought I should mention that. 24 years ago, some of our own parents, they were in their 20s. They were in their 30s. Today, some of you, your parents are almost 60 now. 24 years ago, they were in their 30s. So, if you are 30 today, that means you are just a toddler, a little baby. Your mama, your papa, they were very young. Look at them today. Look at their faces today. Yes. Look at your mom. Yeah. If she's there right now, face her. Look at her face and said, oh my God. Look at your dad right now. If you are lucky to see them around as you are watching this video right now, turn to them. If you have their image, their picture on your phone, go and take a look at it for a moment and tell yourself and see how much they have changed. 24 years ago, how old were you? How old were you? I'll tell you mine. 24 years ago, I was just a 15-year-old boy. 15. Imagine innocent me, 15. And those who were elders, those who are older, those who had experience, those who are in their 30s. Imagine their kind of expectation, the mood. Where are they today? They are now in their 60s. A majority of those who are in their late 30s, they are now almost 60 now. A lot has changed. And if you pay attention very well, they destroyed Nigeria. But go and look at the lives of all of them. Those who have been presidents, former governor, former this, former that, and the rest. The future they talked about in 1999, my brothers and sisters, see, now that future we did so, because some of you don't get girlfriend now. In fact, some of you are already. Some of you got married last Saturday, Abby. Nigeria had. Your own wedding is next Saturday. I've been an introduction. You are already building life, building family. The future they spoke about too. 24 years ago. So a lot of you today, you have now turned to phone vuvuzela. During your own parents' time, our own parents' time, they went there physically, in the rain, in the sun. Campaigning and championing democracy with these criminals. These criminals now have multi-billion dollars worth of properties all over the world. Where is our parent now? Where are they now? But some of you today, you are energized. You this Obingo, you this Kinigo, we will show you. This country will be great. Baba, you are not different from your parents 24 years ago. In 24 years' time, you're going to be older. You're going to full of regrets. Ask your parents now. Baba, I want to be here. Ask those who gave birth to you if they are still alive. Ask them what is their real regrets. Ask them, mommy, 24 years ago, how did you feel about democracy coming to Nigeria? Like, tell me. Let them tell you what they felt. Ask them how they feel today. And then you get the answer. So, Baba, go they do muscle up to become the vuvuzela. You go soon tire. Listen, they can lie to you from day to night, January to December. But reality will always be reality. For example, they've destroyed Nigeria and made Nigeria the poverty capital of the world. The jobless people capital of the world is also Nigeria. The most terrorized people of the world is also in Nigeria. Nigeria know they fight war. Thousands of people are dying. Tens of thousands more are being kidnapped every month. But Nigeria know they fight war. This is the handiwork of 24 years of democracy in Nigeria. Don't deny that. Please don't. No, don't. This is the result. The future of Nigeria is bright. 1999. The future is here. This is the future now. See our brighter future. So you want to do another 24 years? Oh, man. Hello, in 24 years' time, you know how old I will be? Yee. Omo, Eruba Misha. In 24 years' time, Baba, I will be 64 years old. Yee. That's scary. I will be 64 years old man. Imagine me at the age of 64. I am sitting in front of my camera. And I'm here. All of you. This is Maiyegun life. I have been doing this for the past 50 years. You, these young people, please don't waste another 24 years of your life. You say, Daddy and Mommy, Maiyegun, please drink water. Some of you go down old too. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You don't need to laugh. In 24 years' time, a lot of you will be very old. Now, you go come, they console me when those young people will be like, hey, old man, please drink water. I say, Maiyegun, see, you are getting older. Oh. Me, we are done old already. You will be telling, Maiyegun, you need to take it easy. Maiyegun, my brother. I have been following you for the past 45 years. Maiyegun, I want you to please be drinking water. You are no longer a young man. Because that's what will be the case. 64 years, you should be worried. Whatever your parent told you about Nigeria then, the future is here. This is the 24 years after that. I don't become Baba. I don't get 5 children. 5 children. I mean, five I get. 5. 24 years ago, I be teenager. We don't know what's in the world had for me. I had no clue. Innocent me. Look at me today. Within that time and now, Nigeria has shown me shege that I have now turned to motivational speaker, person where they prickle your conscience, telling you that listen, what I am seeing is like an Armageddon coming. If you don't see it, the people are jobless. These guys are not interested in creating jobs. They are more interested in creating false statistics that will kind of back the narrative that says there is no problem when there is actually a mountain of problem. Nigeria has over 60% unemployed people. You know why? Because majority of those who even appear that they have jobs, that goes everywhere every day to say, I'm going to work. Baba, majority of them they are not employed, they are underemployed. A lot of them are just like anything where I go just see. Might just see something they shop. So they now did something. They did something, then they're like, okay, there should be a template of knowing who has a job, okay, and those who are underemployed but still do something. So they now said, if you are doing 40 hours, if you have a job that you are doing 40 hours every week, that's a standard job, okay? So that can be classified that you have a job. Now, if you have a job, it doesn't matter, even if you are a trader doing something, but you actually like expend 20 hours. So when they did 40 hours, the population of those who become unemployed in Nigeria, they kind of fall around 70%. They're not satisfied. They are not satisfied. So they did 20 hours every week. And from that criteria, Yemi Kale, a statistician who was working for the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, said, now we discovered that there are people who are in the informal sector, those who work as your cleaner, bricklayers, mechanics, you know, those who are like selling you second-hand clothes, all those people, they said at least they even do more hours than the formal sector. Those of you who do 9 to 4 every day or 9 to 5. If you look at all this other informal sector, people who do their own businesses or all of that, they spend more hours. They are awake before the rest of you. They go to bed later than the rest of you. Because you know what I mean. So they put them under that bracket and said, okay, even if they are not making too much like some other sector, right? We can classify them as working sector because that is real. That exists, okay? But when it turns to Tifnumbu's time, they say, don't be so that they do them. The way that they do it abroad, if you do 1 hour work every month, you don't get job with that. Statistics, what kind of statistics is this? If I do 1 hour work, now say I get job with that. So if I do 1 hour work in a month, in a week, 4 hours job in a month, how much is 1 hour in Nigeria? If you do 1 hour job, how much? So if I do 4 hours in a month, I get job with that. I say, yes, you have a job. Yemi Kale that got sacked by Bokwari, the APC, because you know something. When Yemi Kale, who is also part of the establishment at the time, and they said, if you are people who actually work around number, you can't lie about number because you know, if you lie about number, statistics, if you lie about them, you're actually playing with people's lives, businesses, okay? Including other foreign direct investors. They need to know the true nature, and you need number, statistic that they work with. This statistics is what they work with in dealing with Nigeria, and you need to be as honest as possible. You can't lie about it. If you are lying about it as a real one, that is not only a statistician, if you are a real statistician, somebody who actually went to school, who actually invested hours and hours working the numbers, and you graduated on that, if you lie about number for a country, you know the implication. You can't do it. So this guy continued to help them patch, but he was releasing the number to the point that they felt like, NBS, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, are they not part of this government? Why are they always releasing information that you always put the government in bad light? They removed the guy. They removed him, which simply put, they are not interested in ending unemployment in Nigeria. They don't have interest in that. They removed him. Now, Tifnumbu came in. Somebody who said 33% unemployed, they came in, they said, no, they fixed it. Their calculation was wrong. If you do 1 hour work every week, now maybe say you get job with that. At least if anybody pay you 1 hour. How much is 1 hour work in Nigeria? At least in the UK. An hour is £10. An hour. Sure, you get, if you do 1 hour work, it's £10. In America, if you do 1 hour work, it's $15 minimum wage. So, how much is the 1 hour minimum wage in Nigeria? 1,000 naira. Abi, how do you divide it? If the minimum wage of Nigeria is 30,000 naira, 30 days, divide them now. That means, even if you do 30 hours a week, you get 30,000 naira. Abi? So if you divide 30,000 naira by 30 days, no be 1,000 naira be that? So can you call that 1 hour work? 1,000 naira. So 4,000 naira. If I collect 4,000 naira every month, then if say I get job inside Tifnumbunomics, this man.
I was one of those most recruited graduates of my university, multiple honors, first-class degree. And I have a reference point. Those people are there. You have nothing to offer but questions and creating doubt. I'm not here to be defensive. I'm here with humility. I was one of those most recruited graduates of my university, multiple honors, first-class degree. And I have the reference point. Those people are there. You have nothing to offer but questions and creating doubts. I'm not here to be defensive. I'm here with humility to tell you that I'm one of the best products. One of the best products that you can sell. No other more in the race, hiding or open.
That is the clown. So Yemi Kale will now break this down like he did on this Arise TV appearance. What did they do with your employment monitor and unemployment sort of a monitor that suddenly Tifnumbu and gang, without doing anything, they came back to say Nigeria has no unemployment problems. In fact, Nigeria, like the UK, like the US, Nigeria is now of full employment. Kale.
Yeah, we come together, all of us, and we try to find and create a system that all of us can kind of agree with. Yeah. So you find agencies like ILO or UNDP or World Bank, whatever it is, trying to get, and in these meetings, countries are arguing because they don't want you to create some kind of methodology that puts them at a disadvantage. So at the end of the day, everybody is trying to push their own narrative. But the stronger countries, the bigger countries are the ones going to determine, at the end of the day, the international best, what we call the international best practice. That's why in this situation, you hear 1 hour is being used, because in many of their countries, 1 hour makes sense. You can and when people are talking of international comparison, there's no comparison there for two things. 1 hour work in the US or in the UK is not the same as 1 hour work in Nigeria, but because they dominate those conversations, they put a lot more money into it. They dominate those conversations. They're going to probably get their weight for the most part. Nevertheless, you don't find many of these countries using everything. So when you say international best practice, you might have most countries that agree with 1 hour, not all of them, but they might, and even the countries that agree with 1 hour with other aspects of the best, so-called best practice, they will disagree. Some countries will use 15 to 64. Some will use 15 till whenever you want to stop working. Others start with 18. So there are still variations across countries. Countries that are allowed to tweak that. All ILO does give you a baseline, general guidelines, and then countries can tweak around it to suit whatever their needs are. That's how international best practice is set. Gotcha. The third part is there's always a mismatch between the producers of data and the users of data, particularly the policymakers, but they hardly ever talk to each other. And I remember when I was there for 10 years, they had to create a system, particularly in African countries, where the ministers of planning and budget, they created a system where they were actually had to talk with the heads of statistics agencies, because the producer of data are just producing their own in line with whatever benchmark, and it doesn't speak to what the policymakers are. And that's the entire point of data, or rather the most important point of data is evidence-based policy decisions, to give policymakers the tools they need to understand the problems, profile solutions, and monitor the impact of those problems. So if you have a situation where the data you're producing and the methodology you are using to produce it is different from the target of the policymaker, there's a problem. So creating that mismatch, I'll give you an example, very quick example, I'm out of time. If you remember if you look at the GDP reports and look at transportation, road transportation, you see a huge contraction of 5%. Yeah. Even though that was just 1 month of the quarter, the last month. Then if you compare that last month with the inflation numbers, the inflation numbers suggest that there was very little impact in that month. But and that's because MBS says they are now doing it for only 2 weeks. Gotcha. So those two numbers, your data is supposed to tell you a story of the economy. It's not supposed to be just isolated incidences data that don't speak to each other. You have to ensure everything. You're trying to come up with a total picture. So if you are saying, you look at road transportation, you see minus 55% contraction in road transportation, even though it's just 1 month of subsidy removal, and that's probably the reason. And then you look at the same month's inflation numbers, and there's very little impact, nothing happened. And those two numbers are not speaking to each other, and then it misleads policymakers. So, and then this is how the 20 hours that was there was used, was created. So when I started, it was 40 hours. MBS was computing unemployment as a definition. The definition was if you're not in full-time employment, you're unemployed. And that the reason was Nigerian policymakers were promising Nigerians full-time employment. So they want to know whether they are performing in terms of providing full-time or not 1 hour employment. Now, if you want the policy and the data to match, policymakers either have to now come out and say, all we are guaranteeing Nigerians is 1 hour. Then the methodology works. But if the methodology is focused on 1 hour, and policymakers are trying to look for full-time employment, you're not really helping them.
Gotcha.
And at the end of the day, the data is just there for the textbooks and for researchers and for international comparison, anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, policymakers can't use it. And I repeat, the most important use of data is to provide information for policymakers, not for international comparison. International comparison is good, but that cannot be the main. You have to ensure that your policies and your data that you're using to
marry.
Yeah, you're not producing data for the sake of it. Data is for the use. If the data user cannot use the data because it doesn't speak to what they want, then it's just a waste of time. So this is why I resisted for 10 years. Because it did not make any sense in terms of providing the information that policymakers need. So that 20 hours was set because the committee that was set up, which included the ILO, by the way. So there were 30 of them. Included university professors, UNDP, some newspapers, Population Commission, CBN, director, they're all in there that came up with, I didn't come up with this. They presented their findings to me. They decided that 1 hour didn't make any sense because the income, on average, by the way, that you would generate from an hour was will not be working. The 20 hours based on if you work for 20 hours, you might be able to generate enough income that might sort of equate to what working 1 hour in the US is. Then you have a bit more comparison.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't. So the way it is done right now, all MBS has. By the way, MBS is I have to state this before I end. Is the official source of statistics.
Indeed.
They are the custodian of all Nigerian statistics. They are the ones that determine, who have the power to determine what they believe is the correct. Not me, whether it's ex-tertiary or not, and not anybody else. So if they decide that that's the best move, they have the right to decide. They have the right to decide that. But as speaking from the other side, it was easy.
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
thank you, Lord. What shall I say? Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. And that is the end of my epistle. So I'm going to open the line so that, of course, you can call in. I hope, please tell me, what is the, what do you call that thing again? The area code for Gabon, so that when I see Gabon number, plus what is Gabon, so that I'll prioritize a call from Gabon. I want to hear from them too, you know. If you are helping to make more noise for Ali Bingo, as well as those of you who are also, who have few things to share with us about the general topic tonight, you can also call in. But can I ask you, I know we were over 4,000 of us on YouTube earlier, but can I ask you to take a moment and like the broadcast if you have been with me for the last 2 hours? I'm going to go mix up some fresh, fresh tea. Then I'll take calls when I get back. So do me that favor, like the broadcast. I mean, like it, leave the comment section for a moment, okay? Just go straight under the video and start liking it. And if you have done that already, you don't need to do it again. But don't go anywhere. When I get back, when I come back, I am going to take calls, contribution from the audience tonight. is me back. And I have a caller already. Hello there.
Hi, Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I was determined today. I want to be the first caller.
And here you are. You just
yes.
You just fulfilled that, sir.
Yes, I was trying to. It was a great exposition today. You did a great job.
Thank you.
But in a way, I'm celebrating with this guy because no matter what people say about the coup, in America, the American, we are in the diaspora. We see the people, they're stealing money, but they still do something for the country. There's development, there's installation, but not in Africa. All they do is just take the money for their family and friends, and that's it. So these guys, as long as they do something for the country, for the citizen, I don't care. However, people might be complaining about the coup or not coup, or it's not good, whatever. What are the people that was there doing in the first place? Nothing. Nothing.
So
there's no improvement.
Civilian coup and military coup. Why is one good?
Exactly.
And one bad, you know?
They're saying the coup is not good. Did they kill anybody?
No.
They didn't kill nobody. That's something to be celebrated about. But because of the people with their criminality, they're coming there on social media, people like APC, we don't want no coup in Nigeria. What are you saying? Are you dumb? What did Tinubu do?
You're doing the wrong thing that could lead to a coup or revolution.
People, I just don't know. Anyway, let someone other caller come in. I just want to say thank you. All right.
Yes, sir. You should have a good one. So let's see. Did I get I think I missed that. Well, yeah, the line is pretty much still open. And I have another caller. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, ma. Good evening.
My very own Maiyegun. One and only Maiyegun. Beautiful evening, my brother.
Bless you. How are you doing?
Bless you. I'm okay. Bless you. And thank you so much for all that you do.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for all that you do. And may God keep being with you. And may He keep upholding you.
Amen.
Protecting you and your household. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of all Maiyegun family, those of us that enjoy what you're doing, those that cannot reach out to you directly, I say thank you, Maiyegun.
Thank you.
We can't thank you enough. Okay. Keep the good job.
I will.
And it's a good development happening in Africa. The last time I called was during Niger own issue, and I asked Nigeria. Yes, and I asked Nigeria how far. Of course, I'm expecting that they will learn from their little brothers, since they don't want to lead the way. And then coming to Gabon, I will say kudos to Gabon if they have found their voice. And there's many African countries who will rise up and find their voice. I'm looking forward to more of this because I left Nigeria like 7 to 8 years now to where I am. And at the time that I got to the country where I'm presently living, as at 7 years ago, they had oil, fuel that could last for 7 years, despite the fact that 7 years ago, fuel was issued in Nigeria, but they had fuel here in storage that will last for 7 years. And where is the source of that fuel? Nigeria. And the same thing is still happening till today. My people are suffering, trekking miles, can't afford transportation. While you go to any other country, fuel is not a problem. And the bad thing about it is that it's not as expensive as it is to the country that produces this fuel. That is how bad it is. I wish Nigeria will find their voice too, like others are doing. I wish we can be bold and not, I'm sorry, I might use some word that might not be really appreciated, but this is me. I am not, well, it's just the way I feel. I wish Nigeria can find their feet. I wish they can find their foot on ground to fight for their rights and not acting, I wouldn't use the word cowardly. No. I know as much as we like our life, we don't want issues. We are watching and believing with the, you know, churchy or goddy or praying kind of attitude that God will come down from heaven and do something. God will not come down from heaven and do anything, because giving us that right to do what is right. If something is not good, even in your home, you have the right to correct it. You correct it. You don't wait for manners to come from outside and fix that situation or correct that situation. That's exactly the case with Nigeria. And that of Kalu, what is his name again? Tunumbu, sorry to say. If we are waiting for the Americans, because each time you make presentation, and people, or rather, not you, rather, people are hoping that America will give them some information. I'm sorry, I don't know how much they think America is going to give to them. Tinubu is just like a tool right now to be used by all these countries. That is a simple truth.
And they will do everything they can until they dispose him.
Yes,
they will use it.
Yes. So if we are hoping that America or which any country is going to give that right information right now, Juju don't carry us. Because they're going to use him as a tool to achieve or to get whatever they can, milk more from Africa. We have it all, but we are like church rats that has nothing. All these foreign countries that we run to go and stay put has nothing. It is the wealth they get from Africa, yet we live like perpetual beggars. It's hurting. It's really hurting. It would be nice to see Africa really rising up and say enough is enough, because it's enough.
It's a wind, it's blowing. We just don't know, right? Where it is going to lead everybody, but we can tell there is a wind blowing. Chichi, let me take another one, okay? Thank you so much.
Please go ahead. Keep up with the good job. And sorry,
Sure, no. Chichi, sorry. I have another call.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Thank you so much, my brother. This is the African Wahala.
The Prince Adewale. Thanks for that, your super chat, by the way. I saw that earlier, but it was at the moment that things were still like burning. I couldn't, really stop by to acknowledge. Thank you.
No.
The African.
No problem, my brother. I mean, yes, sir. Please click on the like button. Use this opportunity. Smash that like button. Let's like it. Let's raise the likes to 2,000. Today, I'm very, very happy.
4,000 earlier, I remember. So I was wondering, like, why didn't they do it again? Thank you. The Prince, please go on.
Yes, sir. I'm just so happy today, with the situation that played out in Gabon. It's clear evidence that at least we are about to get rid of France in Africa. We have many parasites, many demonic criminals from the international scene. They collaborate with our own African leaders to keep us in perpetual poverty. In the case of Nigeria, we know it has always been that way. They collaborate with the Americans and the British to keep us in perpetual poverty, keep us as a people that are very intelligent. When we travel abroad, we do excellently well. We perform wonders. You find us amongst the top doctors, engineers, those that developed the COVID-19 vaccines. Man, these Nigerians are doing excellently well. But when you go back to Nigeria, it's a shithole. How come it's that way? It's because there is a collaboration between our people and the terrorist imperialists from around the world. So kudos to former French colonies in Africa. Salute to Mali. Mali did a great job by removing French as its official language. Now they have something else. Gabon, without a doubt, they've done a good job by removing that crippled thug, old thief, a criminal, Ali Bongo. I really hope Cameroon is next. Paul Biya has to go. Paul Biya is a thug. He's a murderer.
Yes.
Paul Biya has destroyed Cameroonians.
Not just even a murderer.
Oh my God. Paul Biya spends 6 months out of 12 months every single year in 5-star hotels in Switzerland and Paris.
That's right.
Meanwhile, the people of Cameroon are killing themselves because of poverty. And that's what they've turned us into. You know, I follow some spaces on the internet where, I'm not going to lie to you, brother, many people look down on us Africans because they genuinely believe that we are not intelligent people. They genuinely believe that. But we know that we are okay. We are regular people. It's just unfortunate that we have collaborators amongst us that have consistently sold us out and made us paupers. And finally, we are slowly breaking out of that chain. Congratulations to all African people. We are getting rid of France first. After we get rid of France, then we're going to go for the big boss, United States of America. Once we get rid of France, America, then we're going to go for their puppets. The terrorist thugs from Buhari to Tinubu to Ali Bongo to Paul Biya to Museveni to the criminals in Togo, the Nyansigbe family. If you guys don't know the Nyansigbe family in Togo, they have been in power for close to 50 years, father and son, just like it was in Gabon. So these people have kept us in perpetual poverty. We've run away from the continent of Africa. We are not living our best lives in this part of the world. A lot of us are ready to go back. Me personally, I have been researching Kenya and Botswana because I'm like, if I can't even go back to Nigeria, maybe I'll go to another African country because I would rather be there at the end of the day. But thankfully, the revolution has begun. We are witnessing it. It is being televised. Congratulations to my people. Please don't forget to click on that like button. Thank you so much, my brother Maiyegun. Man, I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Stay safe, eh? Nice one, sir. That's the
Yes.
African Wahala. Well, I have another caller too. Here. Hello.
Yeah, Michael.
Hello, sir.
Good evening. My name is Chibweze.
Good evening to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm watching you from Referendum.
Sorry, I could barely hear you. Do you mind? Maybe you should come closer to the phone, like, so quiet.
Okay, I was just in front of the TV, so...
Oh, you need to mute that, by the way, if you really want to enjoy this chat, right? Mute the TV and let's talk on the phone. Right,
yes. Can you hear me now?
I can. Louder. Okay.
Okay, so, you see, I've been, like I said before, my name is Chibweze and I'm calling from Croydon.
Well done, Chikweze. Is that what you said? Did you say Chikweze?
Chibweze.
Fantastic. I actually heard that, but I was like, was that the right thing I heard? Chibweze, Baba?
Yeah.
Here you go, please.
Okay, so as I was saying, I don't know, there's a bit of bittersweet experience about what's going on because my observation with African politics has always been that the incoming, one way or the other, ends up being worse than the outgoing.
That's another.
Yeah, the reason why I say this is because yes, it's like a liberation for the people of Gabon and the people of Niger and the rest of them, but we don't know what's coming next. And like you pointed out earlier in your broadcast today, the thing about military takeover is that it is the same people who will beg these military people to vacate the space.
Start calling the rest of the world to come and save them. It has always been like that.
Yes. So if I remember vividly the day Abacha died in Nigeria, this is how we were jubilating. This is how yes, of course I remember. I was in uni at the time and we were all jubilating. My mother, a deaconess in Apostolic Church, was dancing that day. You can imagine. So now I'm telling you, so look at the so-called democracy now that we're jubilating for. Let me tell you the truth. My mother, as we speak now, lives abroad and she just doesn't have any interest in going back to Nigeria. And she is 90 years old now. I was asking her, some deep questions, about how she feels about things. The long and short of what she told me was that she is totally disappointed with Nigeria. Could you believe that she was telling me that as at 1960, that they were the young girls who were dancing that Nigeria had got independence. And then all these years down the line, her main regret is that Nigeria has broken her heart. Disappointed. And that Nigeria has never really lived up to that, potential, for being a great country. So back to what I was saying, it's a good wave, all these military takeovers and kind of, African nations waking up, but we don't know what's next. We don't know if this is really going to usher in a new era of development and, well-meaning,
people-oriented programs or projects that brings real development.
Yes,
we have been in the trenches for so long. There's no end in sight.
Yes,
like Mom said, right? It's frustrating.
Yes, it is frustrating. It is frustrating because, to be honest with you, I never knew Niger has so many resources until this recent time that this military takeover, happened, and the satellite is now on Niger Republic. So I started doing a lot of research and listening to, broadcasts. I never knew Niger as a country is so rich. Meanwhile, all along, I've always known Niger people to be poor. All along. So I don't know. The long and short of what I'm saying is, yes, it's a good wave, what we're seeing in Africa, but we don't know what is next.
We have no idea. Like, we don't know the whole story yet.
Yes.
Somehow, we should probably just let people enjoy, savor the moment until reality will set in later. Like, what worse can happen? Like, Chibueze, we have seen what those who are supposed to be democratic, we've seen what they have done to the people and done with people's, mandate and all that, right?
I'm sorry to say, the democracy as it is just fuckery. This is not democracy.
It is.
This is not democracy. I'm sorry to use that word, but it's not democracy.
Thank you. Right?
Thank you very much.
And see me
keep up with the good work you're doing. I always listen to you, and in fact, it's like a religion now. I tune into your program. In as much as I don't want to bother myself too much with what is going on with Nigeria, but I always find it enlightening to tune into your program because you give me insight into things that I just read.
Ordinarily, you probably would never be interested in, right? Things that ordinarily you'll be like, no, I'm not interested. But now, look at it. A lot of people are interested and they want to even know more. And the more you know, Baba, it seems like the more angrier you get. Like, what the hell?
I'm telling you. So thank you so much, Maiyegun.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
You let me say me well to Mama as well, okay? Just
no wahala. When you speak to her. No wahala. No wahala.
Yes. So that's a Chibueze from Croydon here in the UK. Yes, the line is still pretty much open, and I have a caller too. Or do I? I think I do. Hello there. Meanwhile, hang on my caller. Hang on for a second, okay? Just a moment, sir or ma. Alexander, that's very, very, very kind of you. That super chat. Same goes to Yomitotu. Okay, it's a busy night tonight, and there's so many comments popping up. So if I don't put your super chat on the screen, right, I may miss it. So thank you to all of you. Okay, every one of you has been like, But if you are watching this, the most favorite kind of love is for you to take a moment and like the broadcast. Broadcast. But if you have already done that, don't do it again. My caller. Hello there. Are you still there? I really, 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 really do wish that you are still there, but that means I didn't get the person. So I'll hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
This is my 400 times to try to see if I can
And
get
then
it.
the foreign
My God.
the first time of being lucky. There's always a first time, you know that, especially. How are you?
I know. I've been calling all this time. I'm Austin from Germany.
I know, Austin. I know. I'm talking about like how many times you would have to try, and then finally you just get through. I'm like, there's always that moment. They say, "Oh, finally," and most of the time it doesn't.
Definitely.
Like, how are you doing,
Definitely.
Austin?
Definitely. I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's actually been a while.
Definitely, because I call every time. As I'm telling you now, I
disappeared.
I call every time, but no, I called every time, but I can't get it. I don't know why. I tried almost every day. Every day you're lying.
Thank you, by the way.
But the issue is that yesterday, I was so much overwhelmed, and I said, I just wrote to you and I said, Maiyegun, may God bless you, because you are really doing a wonderful work. That I don't even know how to express my feelings towards you.
Thank you, Austin.
But all I can say is just thank you, because people don't understand the meaning of thank you. Thank you means a lot if you really go into deep about it. So I can also thank you. I say thank you from my deepest part of me. I'm just saying thank you.
Thank you so much for at least saying that. It means a lot too. Like when everybody says it, and I know what it means. Thank you.
Yeah. So coming out of the Gabon, you're talking about Gabon is my country. I was born there and I grew up there, and I know everything about Gabon. Even from Gabon, I came to Europe.
Are you serious? So that means you kind of will be able to even say more. Now I'm going to listen to you, Austin. Now this happened.
I know Gabon very, very. I know Gabon very, 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 very well. I know. I speak French. If I speak French, you won't even know that I'm in Nigeria. So I know. Even my siblings are still living there in Gabon.
Like when the news broke, how do you feel? For somebody like yourself who has a real connection to the country, like, you know what I mean? Like, how did you feel?
I have been expecting it for a long time. And I left Gabon 2009 when the father died. When Bongo died, I left immediately. He died, and I left. He was even the burial was not even conducted when I left. So, and when Ali Ben, this man narrative, Ali Ben is a Nigerian. He's an Igbo guy. Ali Ben, it's an Igbo guy. I'm telling you honestly. It's not a joke. It's not a rumor. Even Gabonese know that he's an Igbo guy. He is one of those guys that Gabon picked during Nigeria Civil War, Nigerian Biafra War. There were many. There were many in the military. There is another girl that is when the is also in Gabon. If Gabonese are listening to me, I don't know what I'm saying. Her name is also Ngozi or something like that. So it's unfortunate that a lot of foreigners supported Ali Ben from during his first term, because they know he's a foreigner. They thought he could have changed the narrative, but he became the worst. Even his father was even better than him. He did a lot of shit that you can't even. You ask yourself, is this Ali Ben? We know him when he was defense minister. He was defense minister before. We know how he used to slap
his dad actually made him here. It was like his dad groomed him for that position too.
Exactly. He has been in power for a very long time. He knows it up. He messed it up. He messed it up. So Gabon was, when we talk about Gabon, these are the things people doesn't talk much. Gabon is one of the richest countries in Africa. One of the richest. They have all the mineral resources. They have all the. Make your research very well. Gabon have the highest timber in Africa.
You are not lying, Austin, right? Before discovery of oil, right? That used to be their main source of exports.
Exactly.
They are so good with timber that they even make finished products. Like Finala and all of that. They make finished product from timber that they also export too. And they found fuel. They find their oil.
Do you know their national house assembly? The Chinese constructed it, built it. They exchanged timber and they give Chinese the timber and the Chinese build the house. I think the Chinese was taking the timber, I think for 12 years was the contract or something like that. So they have a lot of this. They have gold, they have diamond, they have every mineral resources, ever. When I left Gabon in 2009, they were 1,500,000 in population. So they were not much. They have only 9 states. Even the 9 states is just Yeah, the capital, Libreville. The Libreville I was born, within 1 hour you can circulate. It's not a big place, but they were fucking rich. But if you see what France have done there, even when I had the coup, I was thinking, will this happen? Because I know France is going to fight back. It's even better for France to leave Niger than to leave Gabon. It's better for them. I'm telling you honestly, they will fight back. They will fight back. Don't take my word for granted.
Seen the end of it yet.
No. This. We are just in kindergarten. They will fight back. If you don't know how much money Gabon and France make in Gabon, France make even Gabon booklet. It's not printed in Gabon. It's printed in France. Everything about Gabon is in France. So there is no way France is going to leave there. There is no way.
You know, one thing people have told me, Austin, that a lot of people are currently not even talking about. Some of these countries that are now leaving France, right? With all this coup, all of the supposed asset of the country, money, gold, any other thing they have in store, everything is in France. How are they going to get all those things back? Or France is just going to keep all of them?
France will never give them back. You know, even refining oil, let's say, even refining oil, where Gabon made their highest place they have oil in Gabon is the city is called Port-Gentil. Port-Gentil is another state. So they bring out crude from that place and they go to France to refine it. So France is harvesting everything in Gabon, everything. So there is no way France is going to allow them to. The two things I'm thinking: either the France is behind the coup. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Either France is behind the coup.
They've condemned the coup. And they are saying that Bongo should be returned to power, like they are telling them in Niger.
Maiyegun, France is the highest criminal people in Africa. The highest.
I can't even dispute
the highest. I am telling you what France can do. You know, France have already lost Niger. Forget all this drag they are doing. They will lose Niger. They are not going to do anything in Niger. So what they are thinking now, maybe Africans are going to start up with coup. They might plan to say, okay, let's start with this coup. By themselves, they can organize it and take the power away. I am telling you.
Let's be ahead of them before they. Wow.
Yes, exactly. Since you people have started coup, then let's do it because we know how to do it. I think that's what. I think that's what France is doing.
Thank you so much.
So anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Okay, let me take another one so that we can manage the time as usual. Right? It's so lovely to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's Austin from Germany.
Hello, my good general.
Hello, sir.
I hear you, my brother. Long time.
A long time too. How you doing?
I'm okay. Thank you for your program.
Thank you, sir.
You see, what is happening in Africa is a new development. We like it. But the problem, why they are not killing them? Why they are not killing these criminals? If you leave them, nothing.
Or anything. Go on.
What is arrest? You leave criminal who have grown other criminals around them. You are leaving them. This is where I'm tired of it. They are not killing them. These people need to killing them, taking their assets back and close these colonial masters. This is the right way. This one they are doing, I'm not seeing anything. In Niger, the same thing. They just keep that their puppy one place. They are not killing them. You need to kill them. This is what we call serious revolution. When Gaddafi take government from the power, the power in Libya, Gaddafi kill these people, finish everything. That's why Gaddafi can be able to change the country. These things they are doing is just a child this Sunday. They are not killing anyone. They just keep criminal that will have grown other people along them. So along the way, you will leave them. The junior ones will take over. These things don't have meaning. They need to eliminate all of them. If they are serious what they are doing, then start to eliminate them. It's just like a Turumbu enter power. He's talking about the economy. I see Shetima is crying that the Nigerian economy is mess. What do you mean by mess? What of Buhari? Go and catch him. Go and bring Buhari. If you are serious, if you want to work, if you are telling us the truth, Buhari need to catch. Buhari need to come to tell the Nigeria, how do you do with our money? Where do you keep the reserve? Yes. Buhari need to come and answer, not to carry a left role. A left role is just a minister, just a bank, central bank government. Yes. Yes.
Thieves,
a scapegoat. Yes. Yes. They're just deceiving people. I see Nigerians laughing. He's laughing for Nefele. Honestly, they don't have power to do anything. It's him with Buhari do everything. We know this man, this Issa Fatou. Issa Fatou, all of them have a big money, access in central bank. The Issa Fatou, the man have died to the COVID. This man in family, all of them, that exchange, everything. These are the people that control Emefiele, everything. All of them, everybody knows.
Do you mean
yes? Yes, the late one.
You are right. I mean, I grant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So if these people want to work,
for example, Baba, if you happen for Nigeria now, so now they go arrest them. Cause say we have arrested them.
Arrest?
You agree?
No. Well, this is not anything. This is not what we need. We need a serious bloody revolution. If you want to clean Africa, this is just a small coup. Just arrest person, put him in the house. Later they will leave him. He will go to exile. This will not make any good. Go enjoy everything of the country. You need to show example. Others coming will be afraid. This is how to rule the nation. When Gaddafi do it in Libya, if we have been in Libya, nobody can open mouth to talk about Gaddafi because he put the fear on them. That's why Western world was afraid of Gaddafi, the kind of the power that Gaddafi have. Yeah, that's why they kill him. The man called the Libyans, when he do that revolution, he said, "Now I have solved the problem. Now I want to rule as a leader. What do I need to satisfy you people? We cannot be too present in the country." No. He called the people to the table. They sit down and talk. That's why if he give you a contract in Libya, if he misbehaves that contract, he will die immediately. Gaddafi is a father in Libya. Yes, he monitor the contract. If he give you a contract, Gaddafi call a town hall meeting. A president call a town hall meeting. Yeah. He asked the people, what's the people lacking? What is going on in your state? Everybody will come at rest. He will follow everything. That's why Gaddafi is the best government in the whole world. Before these people eliminate him, Western world kill him. Yes, a town hall meeting. Yes, Gaddafi do a town hall meeting to the whole state in Libya.
I hear about that Gaddafi that is also very, 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 very true. Is that if you want to study for any degree and they are not offering it in Libya, you won't go study for abroad. Now Libya go sponsor you. Now, if you can't come
everything
job, they go they pay you the salary of that discipline where you go
normal,
you get job.
Yes,
not true.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
That is not even existing in America.
It's true.
It doesn't exist in
No, it can't take America compare Libya when Gaddafi was alive. That's why they kill him. No Libya, no homeless person in Libya when Gaddafi was alive. No homeless. The satellite is free, but we are in Europe, in America, we pay for satellite. In Libya citizens don't pay. Even foreigners, you can't pay for satellite. The cable you watch, your telephone, you don't pay. He was calling to make Africa to unite. That's why they killed the man. The man wants to make Africa to be strong. He wants to tell them we have everything. Why the Europeans command us? By what we have. This is what the man started to open the eyes of the people. That's why the Europeans, all of them, got together to kill him. Nothing again. They just fool their people. America always and the European world use their tools. This military coup, we don't know what is going. Whether it's them, it's as according to the last caller, it can be them. They have seen what is happening in Niger. They can move. These people think ahead more than we Africans, we black. But they have think away the way, call the guy and say, let's do coup. As soon as the coup has started taking place.
For us.
Yeah, before it will be too late to them. So it can be another strategies. So if in Nigeria are serious what they are doing, Tinubu have nothing to offer. No. Either he have started crying, telling them there is nothing, no money. You don't know how to hold Buhari. If he is sincere, he want to work. Buhari is #1 man to bring Buhari to the table. Tell us where our money is.
Where you put our money.
That's the only thing. If they want to work, but these people, nobody's working. They're just fooling people. They're just fooling people. Yes, nothing.
Thank you. Ma, take another one. It's so lovely.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me where you're calling from. Maybe you just didn't want to.
I'm calling you from Mexico City.
What did you say?
Mexico City.
You are calling from Mexico. That's amazing, right? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have been your fans for a long time. We started earlier.
You just
thank you very much.
Everybody actually enjoyed your chat. It came from the heart, and I want more of that. Please keep calling.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and you have a good one.
Okay, thanks.
So, Ma, take another one. You see, heart to. Which one is arrest them? What's do like he said, you know? Anyway, hello there. Somebody is trying to get in and their connection is there hanging. I can't imagine what that will feel like. Imagine you've been trying to call into MaiyegunsDiary Politico, and then finally you got you are about to get connected. Your call is picked, and it remaining connecting. You know, you go be like, "Oh, you this village people, wait till happen." So I've taken another one. And my time is, I've only got about 20 minutes to go, by the way. Thank you so much so far. So good to everyone who has been part of this, okay? Can you hear me? Did I pick your call?
Yes, you have.
I did. All right, sir.
Yes.
Good evening to you, by the way.
Good evening, Maiyegun.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Kushap.
Yes, sir.
My name is Sho. I think I'm on your program about 2 weeks ago.
I have spoken to you before, sir. I know.
Yes,
Sho.
yes.
It's good to be part of it again tonight. You want to add to it, please?
Yes, I'm just going to speak on two things. Just like yourself, I'm from Ogun State, and for some reason we've been cursed with this current governor who just brings shame, to the state. Exactly, for a state, that was once blessed with someone Bisi Obanjo to now have someone like Tapo, who, for some reason, people are always apologizing to him for one thing or the other. I remember a video that trended during the COVID palliative nonsense they were giving to people. There was a young lady who did a video and condemned the type of beans, that he sent to them. You understand? God bless you, you remember. And they did a video. You understand? The whole community were begging and pleading, apologizing to this guy. And now you have, all this local government chairman battling and prostrating to him. And these people were the ones that claimed to be the Omoluabi during this last election. People like yourself and myself, we were called all sorts of names. But as an Omoluabi, you saw about 20, 30 people, some of them probably older than that, or some of them probably his age mate, prostrating and dobalaying. Omoluabi him should have stopped them to say, please don't do that.
No, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. It's okay.
You understand? He sat like a king and, looking very... Exactly.
They're all demigods right now in Nigeria. You have no
idea. Understand? And I think publicizing this apology was deliberate because they could have gone to apologize to him without cameras or whatever. They could have come out to say, we had a closed session, the people have apologized, we've moved on. But they did this on purpose so that the next person would know that you dare not challenge your governor. And it's not limited to Ogun State. People across Nigeria have seen this. Even if there's a local government chairman somewhere willing to call out his governor, this has sent a strong message. We will make you to apologize in public. So they're deliberate. So that's what Dr. Abiodun. And secondly, to touch up on the Gabon issue, I woke up to the news like most people this morning, and I was happy for the people of Gabon because they were happy themselves. So I have no reason not to be happy for them. I know people have asked me many times, are you calling for a coup? And I keep saying, no, I'm not calling for a coup. But like Babangida said, it's a shame that I have to quote someone like that. Babangida said a coup would only happen when there's frustration among the people.
That's right. So,
you've ruled the people with impunity. You've lived beyond your means. You've, all this largesse that you do. And I mean, all this foreign, colonial guys.
The imperialists, they call them.
They would
you are supposed to be leaders of your country, but you are actually like the CEOs of the imperialists in your country. It's sad.
They would prop up the worst type of leaders in Africa. Literally propping them up. You saw the video of this guy that was just Ali Bingo when he went to France. The French president was literally propping him up. There's a video of him going to Downing Street when this guy was still there, Boris Johnson.
I think it was.
He couldn't walk. He's suffering from stroke, but they will prop them up because of the benefit they are getting. And now, another thing I would like to point out, there was a coup in Niger less than 3 or 4 weeks ago. There's been another one today in Gabon. Please help me ask APC boys and girls that always excuse our brothers and sisters that lose their lives every election day in Nigeria. People's lives are taken and cut short. I don't agree when they say people die. People don't die on election day in Nigeria. They are killed. So, democratic exchange of power, we lose our brothers and sisters. And people say, oh, that's Africa. But even Coup in Niger, no life was lost.
Not even one person was slapped.
No life was lost. But we can't even have a democratically exchange of power or democratic exchange of power without losing people. And APC people will be excusing it away, telling you, oh, but it happened in Enugu as well. Oh, but it happened in another state. It wasn't just Lagos. I don't care where it happens. I'm just saying, let's stop killing each other on election day. People are having coup without killing each other. So we can learn a thing or two from them. And if it does come to the doors of Nigeria one day, because as Yoruba will say, Tinubu is getting agitated because Tinubu is afraid that he might get to his door. But if you treat the people right, they won't celebrate if there was a coup. Imagine you live in the UK, I live in the UK. Imagine tomorrow there's a coup in the UK. Nobody's going to be celebrating.
Man,
nobody.
Because you will see so many people here, even some of us who volunteer as a volunteer army to go and face the coupists here in the
you
UK.
Understand?
It'll be
because
shocking.
you get the basics. You get the basics from your government. But in Africa, people are being trampled upon. They've suffered in the midst of plenty. Gabon has diamond. They have gold. They have all sorts. What's the population? 2-point-something million. They should be some of the richest people in the world.
They are not even half of Ogun State's population.
You understand? And these people are suffering. But the West will keep propping up these corrupt people. Once, like your previous one of your last caller said, once these imperialists are gone, we will deal with all the Paul Biya's of the Paul Biya has been there since 1982 in Cameroon. He was the prime minister from 1975 to 1982. 1982 became the president. That's 41 years of ruling. How much can you do? So when you die, are you telling me Cameroon would die? This guy was practically living in Switzerland and he was spending about $20,000 per night. That's the cost to Cameroonian people. $20,000 every night for the president living in Switzerland. He said it's easier for him to govern from Switzerland because there's less distraction. What sort of madness are we talking about?
I keep asking that. Look at all this Western, this West. They always talk about democracy. What kind of democracy they actually give to Africa? A dangerous one that they don't want and they will never practice.
The worst type of democracy. You don't even call this democracy. How is it democracy that when you have this democratically elected people, they have to kill to get to power? And the military that we condemn so much, and I'm not supporting them, they don't even kill to get to power anymore. So which is which? Look at Nigeria today. How many lives do we lose on a daily basis that are not even making the headlines? Look at the young boys. I told my nephew who just graduated from UI, I said, because look at the boys and girls living from Akwa Ibom. Or where did they live from? Going to Zamfara. 15 of them kidnapped. Nobody is saying anything. The government it's just like business as usual.
Happened. It's like everything is all right. Everybody's
it
just
wasn't this
like
bad
it's okay.
During the military. It wasn't. It was not this bad. The only people Abacha Babangida went after were their political opponents, which was bad. But now, even the random innocent guys are paying the price. Today, 20 in Plateau today, some 25 in another state tomorrow. And Nigeria keeps moving on because the people are now numb to this type of news. It's become an everyday occurrence. But I'll let you speak to someone else.
Very brilliant contribution there.
Good job as always.
Perspective too, Baba.
All right.
Thanks
a good one.
You have a good one, okay? So that is a show from here in the UK as well. And then I think, let me see. I've got 241, but they said Gabon is 251 or something. My caller, hang on for me for a second, okay? The Agbaman, you are back. I have not seen you in a long time. The Agbama. Anyway, thank you very much, by the way, for that super chat. Now I will read that, which is thank you. Thank you for your open mind. Thank you for saying the truth. Thank you for keeping it real. And thank you for calling out sycophancy and ignorance. Thank you for having empathy. Thank you for being human being. Thank you, the Agbaman, for being my friend and one of those I can call the backbone of this temple. I love you all. My caller, you're there.
Yes, you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, so I hear you, Baba. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Nah, it's fine.
You may need to speak louder or bring the phone closer to yourself, okay? So it's a little bit, quiet. Is that all right?
Okay.
This is better.
Hear me now?
Mm-hmm. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Now this morning we will just sleep. My mom and my sister rush enter my room. You made it here. Wake up. Coup d'etat. I was like, what?
Hang on. Where are you calling from? Can you hear me?
From Libreville.
Oh, from Libreville. Now you will need to mute your TV. Mute the TV so that you and I can continue talking on the phone. So your internet is back now.
Okay. Throttle the line from here. That is reason. Since they do the cut, so they then throttle them. So that's why you could they very choppy.
Oh, you could they somehow. Okay, I'll leave you to talk now. Yeah, you continue. I can hear you now. Go on. Tell us what happened from Libreville.
So immediately I woke up. I was like, what is going on? So he said the military announced coup d'etat on radio. I was like, no, we saw that back in 2009 when we woke up in the morning and heard that there was a coup d'etat. So I quickly dismissed it. It was only on RTG, not on another place. So later they said, no, they have locked down the airport, they have locked down the residence, they have locked down where again? I'm forgotten where.
They usually say they don't lock the border.
Assembly National, which is national the border. Yes. So that was. Then we started hearing, jubilation outside. Liberty, blah 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 blah. Well, me, I am a foreigner. I am not. So I just want to report my experience. Yes.
So what did you do? What did you do when you finally woke up? Did you just come to the front of your house to see all the neighbors and all of them? And then you went back inside, or did you join them?
Yes,
it's been almost 2 days now.
Yes, we went inside. So later, anyway, later come out.
Right.
So the thing they say, before all these things start, the embassy called us and they warned us, saying, stay inside, stay indoors, don't come out on the day we do the vote itself.
Did you say the Nigerian embassy called you, all of you Nigerians there to alert you? Did they?
Yes, not just Nigerian embassy. Yes, not just Nigerian embassy, even other countries. They call their cities. Yes. So, in 2016, they broke people's shops, they looted and all that. So this time around, before the election, they said we don't already pack all the things for our shops and left so in case they come and loot it, because the way people we are traveling. Yeah. So before then, the way people we are traveling this time around was kind of alarming. So we knew something was up. So, but we realize this time. So right now.
So right now, the evening don't come right now for Libreville and the other places right now in Gabon. Wait till be the situation. Like, what do you feel tell us? Like, how it be now?
It just this very calm. They like say they pour cold water everywhere. So they say we could go back to our affairs tomorrow. But the what they call it for English again? Curfew.
Okay.
Still yes. Coffee is still in place. So from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, you are free to do whatever you want to do. Then from 6 in the evening till 6 in the morning, they don't want to see anybody outside. Yes. So that's it. That. On the issue of Ali Bongo, the problem is that he did some things. I just want to report objectively.
Yes, now at least there's some information that you think at least should be shared too. Yeah, Ali Bongo, tell us what you want to share.
I didn't do that. Just as that other caller.
I did with you.
He did some things that are good.
For example, yes. For example, he sanitized the what do they call them, civil service because.
So he sanitized the civil service. Nobody say everything bad about him. So you wanted to tell us other things that are really physical. Can you still hear me? I know. You see, one of the things that they did before the election was to turn off their internet in order to control how much people, the outside world, have access to what was going to happen in Gabon. And I think the internet is probably just coming back gradually or so. So this my caller from Libreville is sharing some internal info with us right from Gabon, but the network is not really it. Can you still hear me? You did there? No. Okay. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take just one or two more calls. In fact, I'm actually going to have to take just one. And that one, okay, I think the line dropped anyway. So I'll take one and we can all call it a night. I am sorry if you are trying to get in and you have not been able to, okay? It's really messed up. It's so busy. Can you hear me, sir? Omar?
Hello, Maiyegun. Good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening to you. How are you?
Yeah, fine. So what's happened there is that they've throttled the internet. What's the implication of that? It means that if you're talking, it will break and it will not allow you to have a continuous convo. That's what it's.
So it hasn't really been improved upon yet. It's like it's still back.
No,
right?
No. You know, it's called throttled. When you throttle something. Yeah, it's like you're holding somebody by the neck; they can't talk properly. You know. So, yeah, exactly.
Like
sometimes if you're talking, you can't have a continuous. Yeah, it's intentional, obviously. So you can't have a continuous convo with the other person.
I see.
That's what it means. Okay.
Well,
okay.
He's managed to tell us enough anyway before the line became that. So, Baba, it's me and you now.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go straight. First of all, I just want to tell the people that are saying when they talk, then they will put a very slight disclaimer. Not that I'm calling for a coup. Not that I'm calling for a coup. What the fuck is? Sorry for children. I don't give a flying whatever. If I'm calling for a coup. See, listen, any soldier, whether you're a colonel or a sergeant, you're all a coward. You do the needful. Listen, the soldiers are now doing what we call a maintenance across Africa. This thing called democracy is not working. We need to tailor a new way of governing our people that suits our polity, that suits our culture, that suits our religion, and all that. It's too expensive. It's too bloody expensive. And somebody saying, a coup was carried out, that it wasn't bloody. So what? Do you know how many people that have died? If your relative was killed during the last election, will you be praying for Tinubu to be alive, or anybody in the APC to be alive?
That's one really honest question you're asking there, and not everybody will actually answer it honestly. If your family member got killed during that election in Nigeria, would you feel the same way? Like tell people to move on.
Would you feel the same way? Or if you have a relative on that train that was stormed, that was stormed on that train that was killed, would you be talking this rubbish that you're not calling for a coup? Then what are you calling for? Fuck off if you don't want to say the truth. Hold your mouth and be under them. I'm calling for a coup. I'm saying it now on air and all that. The military should just man up and do the needful. They should watch their colleagues what they are doing. And Tinubu thinks that because he has appointed the people that are very close to him, his relatives and all. The coup in Gabon, like we saw, and all that, it was his cousin. People are suggesting that it's a family issue. Maybe they want, but at least he was honest enough to kick out his cousin. And
instead of defending and protecting him as he's been doing for a while.
Exactly. To not happen in Nigeria, because the problem in Nigeria is my village man. Is from my estaticity. I will defend him. That was what we saw in the last election. It was all about bigotry and statism and tribalism. That was what we saw, and that's what is holding us back. The minute we change our mindset and say, listen, even if the person is your own brother and all that, he does something wrong, call him out and let him face the music. See, this democracy thing is not going to work in Africa. That is what we are just seeing right now. And what I see, and when I see what is happening, that is happening now across Africa, France had better be ready because they've got a lot of war in their hands. We are waking up gradually, and we are going to fight back. No more this new colonialism.
Of time. I did tell people too about like, listen, all of us can pretend that this is just talk. But the truth of the matter is that it is also an avenue where millions of Africans have managed to even know better, not just about their continent, about the people representing the continent, their leaders. Now, if you think this whole podcast and the rest of all this available information are nothing, then you are not paying attention. Maybe because it hasn't happened in Nigeria. The day is going to happen. A lot of people have believed that there will never be a revolution in Nigeria because we are so divided. It simply means you are not paying attention, but it's okay.
And very soon we start finding out where they're hiding their private jets to hide them away, so that when it kicks off, they want to run away. There's no running away. All of
the locations of private airports in Nigeria. I know say Nigeria have some private airstrips, private airstrips.
Yeah. All of us go sit down. We go talk out the matter. Person will go face bullets, go face him. Person will go face jail time, go face him. That's just my. I don't have no apology. So let it be that way. Let it just be. That's it. That's my contribution this evening.
Don't let us pretend about it. I like you.
Yeah. Because he wants to. The stupid man wants to send soldiers to go to Niger and die. Why? He wants to bring war into Nigeria. Why? Why should we allow this sort of man to be there? The quicker we kick him out of that place and arrest him and all his criminals around him, the better for us. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Good night.
The soldiers have heard you, and I hope you will still be able to say the same thing if the bell rings tomorrow and say gang, 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 gang.
I'm expecting every morning I'm expecting that, fellow Nigerians. That's what I'm here. Yes.
And you think you can still maintain the same position when that happens, right?
Why not?
Okay. We'll all live long.
Let them man up. I'm just telling them, let them just man up and do the needful. They became soldiers not to protect corrupt politicians. They became soldiers to uphold and defend the country and the constitution of the country. One man. Yeah, one man and his gang of thieves have raped and taken over the constitution and rule of law. Look at the stupid man talking about rule of law. Did you respect rule of law by lying, by committing perjury, by rigging, by killing people to get there and forcing your way to get there? You're talking about rule of law. What kind of rubbish is that?
Absolute trash. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much once again. And then you are my last caller tonight, and I kind of would love to end it on that note. Okay, you stay safe, Baba. I'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
Great. Now, to everyone who is still pretty much out there, thank you for spending your evening with me again. Gabonese, who joined us tonight, congratulations to you, because that's how the rest of Africa seems to be feeling towards you. They feel like somehow you have broken the chain of or generational chain of slavery. But are you free? We'll wait to find out, okay? But for this first one, it is ideal to let them enjoy it. We shouldn't begin to procrastinate and all of that about Gabon. They have finally known what their own reality have set in. It's only Nigerians who are yet to actually accept our own reality. Or maybe the reality is not even like it hasn't come full circle. I can tell you this, some people are already saying it is African rising. If the coup that are taking place right now are those that are going to be replacing the civilian coup that have been taking place in Africa, where people's will don't really matter, where rigging of the entire establishment against the same people in your country is what reigns, right? Where you can say Africa rising for the coupists. Okay, civilian coupists and the military coupists. However this goes, we will be willing to go on the ride, on this particular ride. We'll be able, we'll be more than willing and happy to sail through the wind that is currently blowing through Africa. All right? But just remember, if you want a working Africa or a working, let's put it that way, working Africa, of course you are going to have to put African solution to it. And you see these Westerners, if they are not getting the message, I don't know who is going to tell them. Somebody said they are never going to leave easily. They're going to double down. But trust me, in Yoruba land there is a saying, all right? If the landlord is wrong, now tenant go. If the tenant is wrong, now the tenant go. No matter how long it takes, something is changing. And there's no colonial or former imperialist that is too big to collect. So get yourselves ready. Like somebody said as well, there is still more than what you have seen today or heard today from Gabon. We haven't heard the last. Not from France. Thank you. So if you have been with me all night, remember, like this broadcast before you go. If you joined us midway, you can watch it from the start again. Very interesting, and I believe a lot of callers said so. It's quite interesting tonight. But if you have been part of this from the beginning to this point and you've never really subscribed onto my channel, please do subscribe onto MaiyegunsDiary Politico, and you will never miss anything. I will see you again. And until then, good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.